Hi, Rochelle Girardin here, founder of Beyond Nourished and certified nutritional practitioner. Today is our third video of a three-part series of understanding how you can get yourself out of a rut and into a place of feeling motivated and excited and uplifted and stress relieved. So there's a many positive on this video, and I'm really excited to tell you about it. So in the first video, we discussed our symptom and the what of really what was going on. In the second video, we discussed the why and the source of these symptoms, so the underlying issues. So at this point, you should be able to identify the feelings that you were having, the thoughts that you were having, and maybe the underlying cause of these things. Now you might be wondering, okay, this is great, but what the heck do I do with it? And I was promising you that I would tell you our strategy of how, which will bring you to your solution and all of those positive feelings. So what we do with our clients, and I'll use Sarah as an example as we've been talking about her through the first two videos, is we take people through a series of two techniques. Number one is we bring them down the rabbit hole. Okay, and I'll explain this a little bit more in a second. And number two is we use a technique called EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. So the first one, we can address and use the example of Sarah when she was talking about feeling overweight. She didn't say overweight, but heavy and fat were her exact words, and I want to be integral to exactly what she described it to us as. And what I would do in this case is I would take Sarah down the rabbit hole, and I would ask her a series of questions that came from that belief or understanding where it came from, which we've done, and then taking her down the rabbit hole with a series of questions that say, and that means what? And that's important, why? Okay? And you just keep asking yourself these questions over and over and over again until you get to a place of relief or a place of understanding that, okay, it's actually not going to happen like that. This is not the truth, and you separate yourself from it. Okay, so for example, if I was Sarah and I was saying that I feel heavy and I feel fat, I would then ask myself, and that means what? And I might think about it for a second, and I might think, well, that means that I'm ugly. And then I would ask myself again, and that means what? Well, that means that I might never be on the cover of a magazine. And that's important, why? Well, that's what I always wanted. Okay, and that means what? Well, that means, And you can see that you actually bring yourself to a place of understanding that the original problem is really probably not going to happen the way that you thought it was going to, or lead to the things that you thought it was going to. And it's a sense of realization of, oh my goodness, okay, yeah, it really wasn't that bad. Okay? It works. It really works. I use it all the time, and it helps bring me out of these situations, because what we've done is we've identified, being able to identify the worst case scenario is so important, because it really just allows you to separate and almost have a bird's eye view of the situation and remove yourself from it and realize that you're not in it too deep and there is a way out. The next technique that we use is something called EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. And what this is it's a series of tapping that we do through different meridians of the body to help acknowledge the feelings that we're feeling and to release them. So in the case of Sarah, let's say I was feeling heavy. Okay, and this was something that I wanted to release. What I would do is I would acknowledge what was going on, and I would say, even though I'm feeling heavy, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling heavy, I love and accept myself. This is called the karate chop point. Even though I'm feeling heavy, I love and I accept myself. Even though I'm feeling heavy, I love and accept myself. Now we're going to start the tapping through the body, starting between the eyebrows. I'm feeling heavy, acknowledging the feelings that you're feeling. I'm feeling heavy. I'm feeling heavy right under the eye. Under the nose, I'm feeling heavy. The chin, I'm feeling heavy. Collarbone, I'm feeling heavy. Underneath the arm, at the bra line, I'm feeling heavy. And at the top of the head, I'm feeling heavy. You want to do about 7 to 10 taps. This ends the circuit. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. You can rate yourself at the beginning of the video or at the beginning of the tapping experience and acknowledge how much those feelings are controlling you on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not so bad and 10 being crazy. And then you can do another assessment at the end. And if you're still not feeling like the number is moving down, do another round. Okay? So those are the 2 techniques that we use with our clients to help them separate from this all or nothing thinking, or this, to break the pattern of feeling like they're in a rut. Now there's another couple of pieces to this puzzle which involve diet, nutrition, and also self-love, and we're going to be discussing this at another time. But for now, in order to get out of your rut, all that you need to do is practice taking yourself down the rabbit hole and acknowledging the worst case scenario, and also using EFT throughout your day. So I hope these videos helped you, and I hope that you've been able to get out of your rut. We'll talk to you soon.